Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has been honored with the second highest civilian award in India, the Padma Vibhushan. 66-year-old Abe has been honored for his exceptional and distinguished service in the field of public affairs. India and Japan shared a warm relationship before Shinzo Abe took office in 2006. However, giving credit where it's due, Abe accelerated the growing partnership and included New Delhi in the club of major democratic powers in the Indo-Pacific. Abe is known as the architect of the concept of the free and open Indo-Pacific. He always viewed India as a like-minded democracy. Abe will be the second Japanese laureate to receive the Padma Vibhushan. In 2001, former Japanese Defense Minister Hosei Norota was honored with the same award. Before Abe, the prestigious award has been bestowed upon personalities such as the likes of Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela. Padma Vibhushan Awards or Padma Awards, one of the highest civilian honours, are conferred in various categories, including art, social work, public affairs, science and engineering, trade and industry, medicine, literature, education and sports. For more, WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is now joining us live. Thanks for joining us, Siddhant. Now, the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has been honoured with the second highest civilian award in India. Tell us more about the significance of the same.
Well, it is a message of close camaraderie between New Delhi and Tokyo, but also the close personal relationship between the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and something that is much celebrated as well. We know that both the Prime Ministers have been to each other's countries. In fact, the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, when he was the Prime Minister, he visited Varanasi, and of course, he visited Gujarat as well, the home state of the Indian Prime Minister. And we also remember the shots and how those visuals played out in the public mind here in India. And of course, the Indian Prime Minister has been invited to the personal home of the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, which is a rare honor bestowed on any visiting foreign leader. But by and large, we know that Shinzo Abe will be remembered as a person who was the chief architect of the Indo-Pacific concept, the Quad, something that have become very, very, in a sense, relevant at a time when we have seen aggressive China. In fact, the former Japanese Prime Minister, when he was in New Delhi way back in 2007, at that time he, in a sense, gave his outlook about the concept of Indo-Pacific. And then, of course, this concept saw increased relevance by countries like India, by Australia, and now, of course, being adopted by European countries as well. But also remember that Japan is a key investor in India and also a development partner. Of course, we know that the Japanese are playing an important role in helping India build the first bullet train, which soon India will have. But other than that, it is the military level cooperation as well. Both countries have under the Malabar umbrella. In fact, last year we saw the exercises, the bilateral exercises between Indian and the Japanese forces, the naval forces, and also the Malabar exercises in which, of course, the Australians also took part.
Right. Siddhant, stay with us on this broadcast. We'd also like you to weigh in on the other gallantry awards that India is giving to its brave. Now, India has honoured its Galwan Braves. Colonel B.S. Santosh Babu has been awarded the country's second highest wartime gallantry award, the Mahavir Chakra. Colonel Santosh Babu was the commanding officer of the 16 Bihar Regiment, which was deployed in the Galwan Valley on June 15, 2020. 20 Indian soldiers, including Babu, were killed in action in clashes with Chinese troops in the Galwan Valley in eastern Ladakh. His citation for the award said, and I quote, "Despite being grievously injured, he led from the front with absolute command and control, despite hostile conditions to deter the vicious enemy attack at the position." The other 19 soldiers who were killed in action have also been honoured with the Gallantry Awards posthumously. 4 of them have been awarded the Veer Chakra, while 15 have received the Sena Medal. One soldier who survived the clash has been awarded a Veer Chakra. Now, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is still with us on this broadcast. Siddhant, India has honoured the Galwan Braves. Colonel B.S. Santosh Babu has been awarded the second highest wartime gallantry award, the Mahavir Chakra. Tell us more about the same.
Well, this was on expected line. It was expected that the Indian government will honor the martyrs of Galwan. But we also know that there is a contrast here as well. While India has honored publicly and acknowledged the casualty figures when it comes to Galwan incident, the Chinese have stayed mum on that, and of course refused to even acknowledge the casualty numbers. This is how the Chinese treat their soldiers. We know that yesterday on the eve of Republic Day, the Indian president in his address to the nation mentioned the Galwan incident.
Right.
He mentioned the fact that the Indian forces are present in Galwan. That is a point that of course Beijing will be keenly noting. But other than that, this is a strong message to the world community that India is capable of defending its national interests as well. So by and large, on expected lines, something that India was going to do, and by and large India will continue to do so. But also remember that these are awards given during wartime, and there is another point to be noted, that fact that the incident which happened, the Galwan incident, it is being accepted as a situation of war that came, that build up which happened because of the Chinese aggressive policies, the aggressive policies of the Chinese PL. And also we know just last week the Nakula incident happened. In fact, just a short while ago, the United Nations have now reacted, saying that only dialogue is the only way through which the tensions can be diffused between Beijing and New Delhi.
Right, Siddhant, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.